how 9-year-old me got revenge on a teacher who hated my guts. When I was in 3rd class, which I believe is equivalent to 5th grade, my teacher that year had an unusual dislike for me. She would constantly single me out when asking difficult questions, and she would often point at me when other students were talking, among other things. It started subtly, but it became increasingly obvious as the year went on. To clarify, I was considered the nerd growing up. I did not fit in socially with my classmates due to my awkward demeanor, but when it came to academic performance and behavior, I had no issues. I was never a troublemaker. For reasons unknown, this teacher clearly did not like me. Eventually, she even began making comments about me in front of the entire class, often targeting areas that I had no control over, such as my communication difficulties related to autism, my posture, which was affected by epilepsy, and other petty things, like how fast I could write. By the end of the school year, I had reached my limit. I was tired of being mistreated. Despite it all, my grades had not dropped. I consistently came home with nearly perfect scores in spelling tests and mathematics quizzes every week, but I never once received any praise from her. The final day of school was more like a party. No academic work was done, we wore casual clothing, and everyone spent the day socializing and saying goodbye before the autumn term. I had been waiting for this moment to carry out my plan. As expected, the day was relaxed and enjoyable. Since there was no real schoolwork, my only interaction with the teacher was when I told her I would be participating in the Ice Bucket Challenge later that evening, as it was very popular at the time. She replied that she would never want to do it because she hated cold water. When it was time to go home, all of the students lined up to thank her for the year. I made sure to be the first in line so that everyone could witness what I was about to say. In a sweet voice, she asked me, "Will you miss having me as your teacher next year? Is there anything you would like to tell me before you leave?" She fully expected me to flatter her one last time. My response was, "No, I will not miss you. You are the worst teacher I've ever had. You are expecting me to thank you, but the only thing I have to say before I leave is, go forget yourself." Everyone's jaw dropped in shock. I had always been the quiet and shy student, the one who never swore or did anything rebellious. No one ever imagined I would be the person to say something like that to a teacher's face. The bell rang, and I walked out the door with a smile, leaving everyone in stunned silence. That afternoon, my mother received a phone call from the school about the incident. The principal said he was very surprised by what had happened. However, since it was the last day of term, I would not have that teacher again, and I had a spotless record up to that point. He decided not to punish me. Later that evening, I followed through and did the Ice Bucket Challenge just as I had told the teacher that morning. And if you were wondering why I made sure to inform her specifically, let us just say I had a particular teacher in mind that I wanted to nominate.